Hey, what is up, guys? This is Sergeant Van, and I'm gonna do a trailer breakdown of this. So randomly, I will just pause and give you some detailed things that I want to point out, like right here. So there's a sentry bot right there. It's got some like army, like how they have the army ones or whatever, the military sentry bots, which by the way are a pain in the ass to kill in this game. But anyways, continuing on, and he's got a knife in his head or robotic cranium, whatever the hell you want to call it. Point is that are throwing knives going to be in this game? And I'm not sure if they were. I'm not like a big throwing weapon person, I guess, in New Vegas. Like, I don't really run around throwing spears at people. I don't really know who does. I know a lot of people, or I don't know about a lot of people, but I know people like to use melee weapons and unarmed. I do that sometimes. I'm not big on the whole throwing like rocks at your enemies. But, throwing knives are pretty cool. So are throwing knives going to be in this DLC? Are they going to be in this game now, I guess? Um, so hopefully they are, because throwing knives are awesome. And moving on. See the device. So if you can remember back to Honest Hearts, which shouldn't be too difficult, there was raining in Honest Hearts, and everyone liked it. It was cool. It was in the trailer. Well, we think, or at least I think, that some of the weather effects are being re-updated. I think the whole engine might be being updated, because there's some cool new little features that I've been seeing in this trailer, such as animations. There's been dust storms. So, I mean, is the engine being updated, or are they just adding in newer animations and weather such? So we will see, but I gotta say, it looks pretty beautiful. It looks compared to New Vegas, it looks a hell of a lot more like a nuclear, disaster. Even though supposedly, and I don't know if this is true, so correct me if I'm wrong, but supposedly half of this destruction, because you're gonna see the city and it looks really bad, was actually from earthquakes. So I'm thinking it might be in California, maybe possibly Los Angeles, possibly San Diego or something like. It doesn't really look like San Diego because there's a lot of desert. So, but we will see.
Right. See what happened. What was done.
So earlier I mentioned the massive destruction. Well, there's two things that this picture reminds me of. Number one, not exactly the closest memory, but remember back to Fallout 3, there was a big city, the Washington D.C., and there's a bunch of ruins everywhere, and you'd have to take subways. Are we going back to Fallout 3? Is it gonna be like that again? Or maybe this is just scenery off in the distance. What's the deal? What's the deal? But again, the weather effects looking nice. Destruction looking more like a nuclear disaster happened rather than walking around in the desert looking for Las Vegas. I mean, come on. But anyways.
Your world stripped bare.
So if you can remember earlier, you see these, as you're walking in here, you see this building just start to collapse right in front of you, and all these, all this huge structure just collapse. So are there gonna be like new animations? Is there gonna be destruction? Is this gonna affect the environment? Like, can you blow holes in walls now, or are they just adding it to cutscenes? What's the deal? Because this looks really cool. Like, if you could just walk around, have random events, whether it's like an earthquake or a tornado or something, and have it wipe out an area, that would be pretty cool. But as I was saying, I'm pretty sure it's earthquakes. If you look at it, some of this would be done by nuclear, but if you think about it, like, why would there just be a random building? Well, I don't know. I don't want to say anything, so I take that back. But I do think it's earthquakes, just because I do live in California, and it just looks like earthquake damage, if you ask me. Correct me if I'm wrong, but moving on, again. So these are the new enemies that we are seeing, and I want to say they're kind of like Spore. Like, I don't know if you've ever been in Volt, what is it, like 21, 22 or something like that. It's the one with all, like, the leaves and the plants in there, whatever. It's a Volt that's trying to go green, basically. But anyways, continuing on, do they look almost like spore plants? I want to say ghouls, but they're not really ghouls. So like spore plants, and God, what else does that look like? I had something in my mind a few seconds ago, but whatever. They look a lot like spore plants. They run like spore plants, and if you ask me, spore plants were back in the Old World Blues, which everyone seemed to like. So are they making a comeback as more mutated, more deadly, with like glowing horns or something? I don't know what the hell that is. But are they making a comeback in Lonesome Road?
Its beasts, its shadows. Got a message for you. Come find me. You know the way. Bring all your weapons. Bring your convictions.
So in another breakdown that I had, there was a rocket launcher that looked just like this one in a picture, and I was talking about it how we don't know what it is, but I pretty much figured it out. I'm pretty sure that that is or some sort of legendary divide weapon. Like this is the I don't know. There was something. It was called like red something. If you remember it, I do not. But anyways, this is one of the special weapons that you got to get all the upgrades for to get that achievement trophy, whatever you want to call it. It shoots rockets like automatically, so I don't know how much is going to be in the clip. I'm sure there might be like an extended clip mod of some sorts, but we will definitely see as it gets closer. Maybe they might even release another trailer because usually they release it 1 to 2 days before. This is a whole week, so we will see.
Your flag of the bull, two-headed bear. Or whatever flag you're carrying now. And at the divide, you and I, we'll have an ending to things.
In my last breakdown, I mentioned how many American references that we saw, and in every single picture there was at least one thing that said United States or the flag or anything close to that. So is America going to be a theme, or is it just going to be like maybe we're at some warhead base here and we're launching a nuke? We don't know, but I can pretty much guarantee you America's going to be a theme of some sorts. The main character, Ulysses, has got an American flag on his back. You know, the United States right here. There's an American flag on the rocket launcher I was just talking about. It's just, there's too many American references for them not to have some sort of theme with America. And that is pretty much what I am thinking about the theme, is I think it's going to be, again, or maybe another thing I was thinking was maybe the Brotherhood of Steel used to be here, because in one of his recordings he said the Brotherhood of Steel is going to be here, and the NCR is trying to take over, and this is just a guess, because remember how the NCR, or actually not the NCR, what the hell am I saying? The Enclave. The Enclave is trying to do something with this, because if you remember correctly, the Enclave presumably said that they were basically America's government, and obviously that's, not true. They're like evil bad guys trying to kill people. But that's not the point. The point is that is Enclave going to be back? Because in one of his recordings he does mention the Brotherhood of Steel. So if you're gonna have the Brotherhood of Steel, you gotta have some sort of reference to the Enclave. But yeah.
This is your room.
So this, at least for me, is the most interesting, and this is mainly because, well, you might think this is just nuclear warheads going off in the divide. We've already seen missiles launching, whatever. Well, if you look very, very closely, this is the actual entrance / exit to the divide, or Lonesome Road, or the DLC, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, you got one that looks like it's going off at the Mojave outpost, and another one possibly at Hoover Dam. I don't think so. I think it'd be farther out. But the point is that if you can call in nuclear, attacks or something, this is gonna change the whole deal. Maybe if you're siding with one clan, you blow up the other. Maybe this is actually after the campaign takes place, or the actual just normal single player, and whatever team you chose or clan, whatever, you ended up going on their side. So that's my guess.
When you come,
So in a couple seconds, you're gonna hear a sound effect after the Ulysses or the narrator of the trailer is talking, and you're gonna hear a sound effect that sounds a lot like the one of radiation. So could radiation be a big thing? I mean, if you see all the missiles going off, you see all the nukes going off, you gotta think, oh, radiation. So is radiation coming back? Because in New Vegas it was extremely mild. Like it was pretty much the only radiation you had to worry about was in volts, some water, and like not even like the big water, just like random little ponds here and there, right? And then a couple random areas, and the biggest one would be like the food and drink. But that obviously, I mean, if you just play Fallout New Vegas normal, not hardcore, then there's not really that much of it going around. I mean, you wouldn't really be eating that much Brahmin meat or something, but yeah. So pay attention to that, and you tell me if that sounds like a radiation, I guess gaining or radiation counter. I don't know what they call them.
you'll walk it alone.